conference was organized by North American Society for Vet Research. The society organizes such meetings annually, and it was the 42nd annual vet meeting of this society. And this year they decided to carry out the conference in Puerto Rico. And possibly I should say something about this mysterious land. Because not so many people know where it is. Even guys in airport, some was asked where it is, in France, in somewhere else. So a few words about location of Puerto Rico. Well, possibly older people know about Caribbean conflicts, and they have heard older Soviet people know where Puerto Rico is. So this is how dependent state, how dependent of United States of America. It is almost USA, but half dependent. Somebody says that possibly in near future it may become the 51st state of USA. So it is located in the Caribbean Sea, and it has very great and rich, I would say, rich history. Because from time of Columbus, and Columbus reached Puerto Rico during his second journey to, so to speak, West India, and from that time it became a key land, because in fact the island of Puerto Rico, I will show you where it is. It is somewhere here, Atlantic Ocean, Caribbean Sea, and somewhere here. And it has very strategic location, because in fact Puerto Rico controls access to the New World, and correspondingly to resources of the New World, to gold, to silver. And when Spanish understood that it is a very strategic land, they occupied it, and they guarded it for 350 years. And all this time, starting from Columbus time, it was there were a lot of struggles between Spanish and British, between Spanish and Dutch, because nation which controlled this island controlled an access to treasures of the New World. So the conference was carried out in this wonderful place. And of course it is trophic, Atlantic Ocean from one side, the Caribbean Sea from another side of island. So maybe I will not tell about some details of bad discoveries which I have heard. I will tell generally about the conference and some remarks about organizing of the conference, etc., etc. So first of all, about which may be useful for us as potential organizers of conferences here. So I will start from abstracts. Abstracts were restricted to only 200 words, only. And it is really funny, because we had a lot of discussions that abstract should be big, and we should not restrict a volume of abstracts, but now we know that even very serious conferences restrict a volume of abstract, of an abstract. Then another discovery was that they didn't publish abstract book in paper, they published it only in view of PDF, which was already available before beginning of the conference. And another discovery that all participants receive their participant conference pack, which included this notebook and this program book, and that's all. And some very simple pack. So it is just a remark for us again that our minimalism corresponds to minimalism of very cool and very serious conferences. Generally, that conference gathered about 250 persons, participants, and as you know, usually these conferences gather more people, but Puerto Rico is quite remote island of the main North America land, and that is why this year the number of participants was less. Then another remark concerning organizing. Again, it was very interesting to see that all student presentations, all student oral presentations were put at the first date. It was done for such thing as to involve on new faces, all students not known to anybody, to involve them from the first day to the process of conference communication, to make them familiar to other and to make them familiar to each other, and to continue to communicate with them as with colleagues or as with potential serious colleagues, etc., etc. And and I should say how I got there. I was invited to the conference as an awardee of Spontaneous Award. Spontaneous Award is given to researchers from developed countries, including countries of Eastern Ukraine. So there were 3 awardees, me from Ukraine, a guy from Ecuador, and a guy from Bolivia. So all developed countries. And there was another award of Mexican researcher, and there was another nomination. There was a girl from Mexico. So students and all awardees were put at the first day program, and only these chosen persons, speakers, have a possibility to speak 10 minutes and to have 5 minutes for questions. Only they have 15 minutes. All other speakers has only 10 minutes, including time for presentation itself and time for questions. It was done because organizers wanted to avoid parallel sections and to put all speakers into one room. They succeeded with that because almost all presentations were done only in one room. But of course, this approach has some clear disadvantages because we have no possibility to ask something and to discuss results which are presented. What else? I think that there were 2 student competitions between oral student speakers and poster presentations, student presentations, and I was on the jury of poster competition, and actually it was a great possibility because I had to do it. It was my obligation to almost to study thoroughly all posters, and it was very interesting. And by the way, I have discovered that sometimes text of abstracts doesn't correspond to contents of posters. So it is just remarkable. And yeah, and when I have revealed it, I understand why authors in serious papers don't refer to abstracts. It is very seldom when you may find a reference in some very good article reference to some abstract. And a few words about fundraising for sponsoring such guys as me, as another awardees, and for sponsoring awards for students. For example, there were some few social events. For example, an event welcoming reception, and of course banquet. And during the banquet, I could observe how it happens, how they fundraise. For example, they organize an auction, and every participant may donate something for this auction. For example, you may take Nemirov pepper vodka and to give it to auction, and this bottle may be sold for a very big, very high price, for $100, $200, or even $1,000. And they elect a very smart chief of this auction, and it was really very funny and very enjoyable event. It lasted for about 2 hours, and it wasn't bored. It was really funny. It was a good time. So another example, for example, some very I will show you in a few minutes, some known guy, very known. He donates or she donates his or her favorite cap, and then finally he buys his own cap, but for a great sum, given $100, for example. And in such way they get really great sums of money for future scholarships. Or, for example, they organized golf competition for some participants, and participation in the game costed a lot. And all this money was gathered and given to students and to everybody. So very interesting system. And few pictures. One moment. Or, for example, another funny episode when I will show you a moment. It is very famous researcher, Gary McCracken, known worldwide, and the idea was there was this cap, something in the middle between ugly and beautiful, and a person who buys this cap may give it to somebody, for example to Gary McCracken, and obligation of this person is to have it on his or her head until the end of the evening. So it was funny, of course, and or some professor decided to sell his jacket. Finally, it was bought for $1,000. Some very strange jackets, and some student bought this jacket. But I think that it was money of this professor. What else? Oh, for example, another episode, two again known guys, two professors. They may think something is they call it three tenors, and they may sing something, and participants of the evening give money for their singing. In this case, it was very funny because these guys received karaoke, but in Japanese. So when they saw some Japanese movie, possibly later, just yeah, it was really funny. Oh, for example, guys from Costa Rica, not Puerto Rico, but from Costa Rica, they danced salsa, and another again participants paid money for their dancing. Again, the better guys dance or sing, the more money then they may raise. Well, maybe that's all. Some questions, discussions?
How many
About 250. A little bit more, but about.
What can we do to convert our young scientists conference into something like this?
Well, I think that we need more time. It will take time, even if we try to do it. It will take time because we have another attitude to life and to communication, not to life, to communication. Well, I think that we were talking a few minutes ago about Soviet times, and I see that it's strange. Of course, a lot of changed in our style of communication. People are more open, but anyway, a lot of people are really feel themselves not conveniently when they have to speak in public. So.
What was the title of your presentation?
The title of my presentation was very easy. It was Bad Research and Conservation in Ukraine.
How did it?
How was it received? Presentation or poster?
Oral presentation, yeah.
And PowerPoint as well?
Yeah, and PowerPoint. Yeah, I have it here.
How it was connected to the Puerto Rico and the American pets?
Actually, it wasn't connected, but as they
It was just for fun.
nominated me, I have to
Present what are you
to show myself and to explain what I do, and I have a choice to make a presentation about a general presentation about bioconservation and research in Ukraine, or to make some narrow presentation about some more narrow thing. But I decided to do something general. I have it